Hey there, Jon Chorba here from ReallyEasyGuitarLessons.com, and in this video lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play a really easy strummy version of All Apologies by Nirvana. So like with all of my easy strummy versions of songs, this is not a note-for-note rendition of what you hear on the recording or on any Nirvana live performance. This is simple open position chords, simple strumming pattern, something that you can play, around the campfire, house party, in your bedroom, wherever you play songs by yourself or for those close to you, okay? So keeping it easy, open position chords, simple strumming pattern, but I'm also gonna show you one little way you could alter one of the chords to kind of match the riff in the song. So how this lesson is gonna go, I'm gonna show you what chords are used. We're gonna organize the chords into chord progressions. I'm gonna show you a simple strumming pattern or strumming patterns. And I'm also gonna show you a way, again, how you could alter one of the chords to kind of make the sound of the riff as you play. So with all that said, let's just jump in and get started. Okay, we're gonna play this with a capo on the first fret. So standard tuning, capo on the first fret. I believe Nirvana plays this a half step down, and they play in D, so we're doing it in standard with a capo, and we're doing it in C. So first, let's just talk about the chords that are gonna be in the song. So you're gonna be on a C chord, 3rd fret A string. Again, that's 3rd fret relative to the capo. I'm actually on the 4th fret, but it's the 3rd fret relative to the capo. 3rd fret with the ring finger, 2nd fret D string with the middle finger, and my 1st finger is on the 1st fret of the B string. The G string is open and the high E string is open. So there is my C chord, and again, you are gonna be on this chord for the majority of the song. Two other chords used in this are gonna be an F, which you can do this a couple different ways. So I would, ideally like you to do it, where you are holding down the 1st fret of the B and the E string with your 1st finger, and then your 2nd finger is on the G string of the 2nd fret, and then your ring finger is on the D string of the 3rd fret. So it's kind of like you take your C shape and just move these two fingers down a string, and then of course you would bar with the 1st finger. And often when I play this F, especially when we add strumming to it, I bring my thumb, what I call over the top of the neck, to just kind of touch these E and A strings. I'm not pressing into anything. I'm just letting it hang out, let it touch them, so that way any kind of string vibration or noise that happens is muted by my thumb just hanging out there. Okay, so this is how I would love you to do the F like that, but if it's too tricky, if you're on the newer side of stuff, you can simplify it where you get rid of the bar and you just play 3rd fret D string, 2nd fret G string, 1st fret B string, just those 3 notes, those three strings. You could get away with playing the F like that. The one thing I would say is watch out if you hit the open E string, right? Because since you're not barring it, if you're letting it ring open, watch out for that, because now you're changing it from an F to what's called an F major 7, and you hear it's got a completely different sound. Now, with that said, actually doing the F major 7 in the context of the song or where you would do it, if you accidentally do it, it actually sounds pretty good. So even if you do it on accident, it's not gonna be the end of the world, and it actually could sound pretty cool. So options for F, you've got your F like this. Again, I'm gonna keep my thumb over the top so that way I can mute out any strings. Or you could simplify it where you're not barring, but then you gotta just watch how many strings you hit. And then if you accidentally hit the F major 7, it's not the end of the world. Okay, and then the last chord you're gonna use is a G. So 3rd fret with the 2nd finger on the E string. 1st finger's on the 2nd fret of the A string, and then your ring and your pinky are on the 3rd fret of the B and the E. And that's our G, all right? So we got C, F, a couple different ways, and G. Just 3 chords for the whole song. Now, usually when I do these video lessons, I do the chord progressions before I do the strumming. But because the chord progressions of the song are essentially just hanging out on one chord for what feels like forever, I'm actually gonna start with the strumming pattern. So I'm gonna give you 2 options what you can do. You can either do straight 8th notes, which would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up strumming. 3 and 4 and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay? So one iteration of that, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and equals one measure. And then you could also do this other strumming pattern, which would be 1, 2 and 4 and 1, 2 and 4 and. I feel like this pattern works better over the chorus, and the straight eighth notes works better over the verse, but feel free to mix and match or do whatever you want to do. So with this second pattern, I'm doing a down, down, up, down, up. And the biggest thing is that you want to keep your right hand moving. 1, 2 and 4 and. So it's like I'm doing the straight eighth notes, the constant down up strumming. It's just sometimes I don't hit the strings. So straight eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Other pattern, 1, 2 and 4 and. But you notice in both cases, my hand is always moving. 1, 2 and 4 and. 1, 2 and 4 and. So that pattern, once again, 1, 2 and 4 and equals one measure, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Those are the two strumming patterns you could use. They both equal one measure. So then when we look at the chord progressions, we can now look at it within the context of strumming. So for the intro, you're just hanging on the C chord for 6 total measures. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's one time. So you would repeat that 6 total times. And then for the verse, you're now on it for 16 times. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That'd be one time. So you're going to repeat that 16 total times for the verse. And then for your outro, not 16 times, it's not 20 times, 24 times? Yes, 24 times you're just staying on that C chord, doing that pattern over and over and over again. For the chorus, though, we have a little bit of a different progression. So we're going to do an F for 6 measures. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 6 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we change to a G. And then in the first chorus, you're on the G for 4 bars. And in the second chorus, you're on the G for 8 bars, okay? So they're the same, just the G lasts longer the second time around. I'm gonna show you the song structure now. So it's gonna go intro, first verse, first chorus, second verse, second chorus, and then the outro. So song structure-wise, it's very, very easy. Intro, verse, chorus, outro. And now I'm gonna just demonstrate the strumming along with the song. I'll start it at the first verse, so I'll do a verse and a chorus, the first verse and first chorus. And I'm gonna play between the straight eighth notes and the 1, 2, and 4 and, so you can hear what that sounds like. I'll start with straight eighth notes. I'm gonna switch here. 1, 2, and 4 and 1, 2, and 4 and 1, 2, back to 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 4 and 1. Let's switch again. Now we're on the chorus here. Back to the verse, so you do the second verse, then you do the second chorus, and then the outro, and that's the whole song. Now, there was one extra little thing you could do to make this a little more faithful to how Kurt was playing it. So there's a riff, right? The guitar is really doing a riff. Okay, that's the riff. And you can make the sound of those notes just around the C chord by getting the puny pinky involved. So if you are on the newer side and your pinky is very puny and weak, this is gonna be a great way to get it some exercise and build some more dexterity. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna hold out that C chord, and we're just gonna either drop our pinky finger on the D string of the 3rd fret or the B string of the 3rd fret. That's it. That's the only manipulation that we're gonna make to the C chord, is either dropping the pinky on the D string of the 3rd fret or on the B string of the 3rd fret. And here's how we're gonna do it. One, I'd recommend doing the straight 8th note strumming with this. It'll make more sense. All right, and I'm gonna break this into little groups of 4, okay? So the first group of 4, when I do the down, up strumming, I'm not gonna do it on all of the strings of the chord. I'm only gonna really kind of focus on the first three strings of the chord, the A, the D, and the G string. And I'm gonna do a down, up on the C chord, and then on the next down, I'm gonna put my pinky down. And then on the next up, I'm gonna take my pinky off. So I'm gonna go down, up, down, up. That second down, I put my pinky down. Down, up, down, up. Okay, and then I'm gonna repeat that, however, with the picking hand, I'm now gonna start the strum more on the D and the G string to get that open G string note a little more prominent. Same thing, down, up, and on that second down, I'm putting my pinky down. So when I put those two together, I got a low version. And then a little more mid-tone where I'm hitting the G string. All right, very easy to get some muting sounds here. And then I'm gonna repeat that low version again. And then I'm gonna do a high version where I'm gonna strum the high strings, down, up on the chord, and then the next down, I put my pinky down on that 3rd fret of the B string, and then I lift it up on the next up. All right, so you could just practice those 2 little spots in isolation. Down, up, and getting your pinky used to when it's gotta come down and when it's gotta come up. Or doing it on the high. But when you put it all together, it'll sound like this. All right, how to go about practicing this, like with all of my easy strummy versions of songs, the process is as follows. First, make sure you know your chords. Make sure you know how to play a C, make sure you know how to play an F, make sure you know how to play a G. Make sure that you decide which kind of F that you're going to play, whether you're gonna do the bar or you're gonna, do it as a 3-string version of it. And also choose which kind of strumming pattern that you want to use, whether you're going to do the straight 8th notes or you're going to do the 1, 2, and 4. And so you want to make those decisions and figure out how you're going to approach it right off the bat. That will guide what you practice on and how you practice on it. And then I would focus on any chord changes that give you problems. Anything with an F is tricky, so going from the C to the F is worth practicing, and then F to G is also a common trouble chord change for many students. So I would just work on practicing those little changes in isolation to build up that chord changing skill. And then usually I recommend doing what I call chord placing, where you place the chord in time with the song. However, with the song, because the chord progressions are just hanging on at a C chord forever, I feel like you don't really need to do that, but I would recommend maybe doing the strumming pattern, just the strumming pattern, like mute the strings out, and try to keep straight 8th notes along with the song. That will help keep your timing steady and help build up your internal clock and your rhythm and your feel just by strumming along to the song as it's playing. And then of course, add the chord changes and the strumming together to actually, play the song. You could do this without playing to the recording. And when you do that, you're really gonna focus more on the accuracy and the cleanliness of your chords and the steadiness and the sync of your 2 hands, making sure everything sounds right. But I would also recommend playing along to the recording so that you could, again, build up your rhythm and your feel. And then I'll leave it up to you to decide whether you want, to do straight 8th notes throughout the whole thing, or do the 1, 2, and 4 throughout the whole thing, or do 1 as the verse, 1 as the chorus, or also including or incorporating that riff around the C chord. I'll leave it up to you to decide how you want to do it. All right, that's it for this video lesson. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button to get more videos like this. If you are a beginner or intermediate guitar player and you are totally lost, confused, overwhelmed, not sure what you should be working on, head over to reallyeasyguitarlessons.com/quiz where you can take my free guitar practicing assessment. I'll ask you a few short questions, and then based off of your answers, I will tell you what your top practicing priorities are. You could find that at reallyeasyguitarlessons.com/quiz. It's totally free. Results are delivered instantly. Again, reallyeasyguitarlessons.com/quiz. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.